بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. So inshallah now we're moving on to تذكير and تأنيث مذكر المؤنث. So quick recap, we are in the khatima of the book, and in the khatima we said we have the first bab is regarding the ism, ahkam of ism, which are not necessarily related to i'rab and ma'mul. Then in there we had the muqaddimah, in which we discussed the ism masdar, mushtaq and jamid. Then we went through ma'rifa, nakira, the zamir marfu, the zamir mansub, the zamir majrood. We went through when we discussed the zamir bariz and the zamir mustatir. Then now we're going through muzakkar al-mu'annath. Okay? And we went through nakira, nakira mahdha, nakira makhsusa, nakira mufida. And now we're going through muzakkar al-mu'annath, and the rest will come inshallah bit by bit. Okay. So in muzakkar al-mu'annath, remember we have here mu'annath, mu'annath haqiqi and mu'annath ghayr haqiqi. Haqiqi means the thing we're talking about is actually gender mu'annath, is mu'annath haqiqatan. And ghayr haqiqi means it's not mu'annath in terms of gender, biological gender, but it's actually mu'annath because of grammatical purposes. And then you have mudhakkar. Simple. So you have mu'annath haqiqi and mu'annath ghayr haqiqi. And then you have mudhakkar. Okay. So al-faslu thani fi tadhkir. So the second chapter is regarding tadhkir. Yudhakkara yudhakkiru tadhkiran is to deem something mudhakkar grammatically, and ta'nith, annatha yu'annithu ta'nithan, to deem something to be mu'annas grammatically. فالاسم نوعان. So based on this, we have two types of nouns. النوع الأول المؤنث وهو قسمان. القسم الأول الحقيقي. The first type is حقيقي, and we can call it also biological or actual gender, where the word is actually mu'annath. وهو ما كان مؤنثا بالخلقة. And ism, which is mu'annas, haqiqi, is that which is mu'annas by khilqa, by creation, the way it has been created. For example, al-mar'a refers to a woman is biologically female. An-naqa is a she-camel. So these words are feminine because they actually refer to female things, female hayawan. And ghayrul haqiqi is anything which is not really mu'annath biologically, but the grammarians have treated it as mu'annath for different purposes. وهو ما في حكم المؤنث وإن لم يكن مؤنثا بالخلقة. وهو, it is that which is in the ruling of a mu'annath, وإن لم يكن مؤنثا بالخلقة, even if it is not mu'annath by creation, by biologically. Then we have masala here. يسمى غير الحقيقي لفظيا ومجازيا. So you have like lots of words. You have mu'annas lafzi, you have mu'annas majazi, you have mu'annas lafzi or mu'annas majazi. All of these are basically non-biological mu'annath. Simple. So you have mu'annath haqiqi, which is really a mu'annath in terms of biology, and then you have mu'annath ghayr haqiqi, can also be called mu'annath lafzi, it can also be called mu'annath majazi. Understood? Everybody following? It's quite simple. I think we have already covered this in the unit 1 of the Arabic book almost a year and a half ago. Yes? وهو ثلاثة أدرب. وهو ثلاثة أدرب. The غير حقيقي is 3 types. الضرب الأول ما كان في آخره تاء مربوطة. That in whose ending there is a تاء مربوطة. ما كان في آخره تاء مربوطة. That in whose ending there is a تاء مربوطة. نحو الساعة. What is this? الساعة. Sa'a is an hour. So sa'a, modern day Arabic, refers to the watch that you have on your hand, the wristwatch or the watch on the wall, or the clock on the wall. In Arabic, before like the 24-hour clock, it was referred to a period of time. A very short period of time is called sa'a. Yes, but not very. The shortest period is called daqiqa, and the longer part is called sa'a. And sa'a also refers to qiyamah, the last hour. Okay, so sa'a is not gender; it doesn't have a male or female, but the word sa'a is mu'annas because it has a ta marbuta at the end. So one type of mu'annas ghayr haqiqi, also called mu'annas lafzi, or also called mu'annas majazi, is that word which has a ta al marbuta in the end. That's called mu'annas haqiqi, or it's called mu'annas majazi. Everybody following? Yes? Now, what we have here is we saying that there are some words that we assume they have a ta in them. So تقدر التاء في بعض الأسماء سماعا. Yes? Ta is assumed. Ta is assumed in some isms. Sama'an, not qiyasan, but sama'an, because of our sama'. Basically, what does this mean? Mu'annath sama'i. That there are some words that the Arabs have used as mu'annath. We don't know why. They just use them as mu'annath. However, we do find some evidence that there's a ta marbuta hidden. Okay? For example, وتسمى مؤنثا سماعيا, and these are called مؤنث سماعي. So any noun which the Arabs have used as a feminine, but it is not, it doesn't have ta marbuta, it doesn't have alif ta'anith, or it doesn't have any of those rulings that make a word مؤنث سماعي, مؤنث لفظي or مؤنث مجازي or مؤنث غير حقيقي, we assume to have a ta marbuta at the end. It's called مؤنث سماعي. For example, shams asluha shamsatun. Now, where are we getting this from? Like, how can this make this up? You say, well, no, actually. If you look, this is in Hashia, the taqdeer of the ta marbuta. The ta marbuta being hidden. This is the master, being hidden. Yes, being hidden. The ta marbuta being hidden is understood from tasghir. We'll do tasghir later very shortly. Tasghir means when you make something small, like I don't know. I don't think anything is. It may be in English actually. I can't remember. I know in Spanish, for example, if you add ito onto the word ito. So, for example, if you have, for example, one. So one, that's the name of the noun. John, G-U-A-W, one. So if you say Juanito, that means little John. Yes. So you have Milito or whatever. So, for example, even like, for example, there's a few people like you come with Islamic name and add ito, then Ismailito, mean a small Ismail. Hashimito, a small Hashim. So in Arabic, the pattern for this is fu'ailun. So when you make a normal noun on the pattern of fu'ailun, these nouns, which are mu'annath sama'i, the ta returns back. So for example, we've seen the Arabs in their poetry and their text using shumaysatun. So when they make it mustasghir shumaysatun, the ta comes back. That means that there was a ta. That's why it's mu'annath sama'i. Do you understand? Yes? So in summary, there are some nouns which the Arabs have used as what? The Arabs have used as what? Mu'annath. They're not mu'annath biologically, so that's also the question. They're not mu'annath haqiqi. And they are mu'annath, therefore they're mu'annath ghayr haqiqi. And mu'annath ghayr haqiqi is also called mu'annath sama'i or mu'annath lafzi or mu'annath majazi. And then mu'annath ghayr haqiqi, mu'annath majazi, mu'annath lafzi, whatever you call it, the ghayr haqiqi, we find that there are three types. One is a mu'annath ta marbuta, alif al-ta'nith, or some of the jama'. But these words don't fall under this category. So we say, well, it's sama'an, it's mu'annas. But what some grammarians have said is that they're mu'annas sama'i because there's a ta marbuta hidden. So, well, you're making this up. So, no, you're not making it up. There's a dalil for this. That shamsun is the origin shamsatun. Why? When we make it mu'annas, when we make it tasghir, we say shumaysatun, not shumaysun. That means that the ta comes back. So that's a dalil that the ta was there when the ta was removed. So shamsun is mu'annas. Shamsun is mu'annas because of the ta marbuta originally. And how do we know? When you make it the musaghar, the ta comes back. But simply because the mu'annas sama'i, some Arabic words the Arabs have used as for feminine, even though there are no rules. Now we have a whole long list. Just learn the list. We don't have to learn the list unless I get really evil. And I say, well, in exam, list all 20 or all 25 mu'annas sama'i. I might do that. So if you guys annoy me in class and I'm a bit angry, upset, I say, you know what? Take revenge from them. List 25 mu'annas sama'i. But other than that, unlikely you'll come in exam. But just know them. You should know that, read them enough times that when it comes, you click, yeah, yes, this is mu'annas sama'i. You don't have to learn it by heart. But if you go through it enough times that when it does come, you know, yes, this word is from the mu'annas sama'i list. Okay, we'll go through them and then we'll discuss it, inshallah. Min al-mu'annath sama'i. What is mu'annath sama'i? Let's go through one by one. Okay, I'm going to go through it a bit quickly. If you get stuck, look at the video again and pause the video. So, al-udhunu, what's udhunu? Ears. Al-ardu is earth. Al-arnabu is rabbit. Yes, rabbit. Al-isba, you have isba, you can say isba, usbu, is many zabt in this one. Is a finger. Al-bi'ru, isba is what? Finger. Bi'run is a well, you should know that already from story of Yusuf. Thuraya is a constellation called, I don't know, Pleiades or Seven Sisters. Yes? Jahim is the name of the fire of Jahannam. Janub is not heaven, something went wrong there. Janub is southern wind. Janub is southern wind. That's a mistake. I don't know what happened there. Southern wind. Okay. Jahannam is the name of Jahannam. Harb is war. Harur is hot wind. Dar is house. Dabur is a west wind. Rijlu is a foot. Raha is a mill. Then you have a mill that you grind flour with. You grind flour. That's called a raha. Rih is wind. Saq is shin. Sama is sky. Samum is called simum. It's actually called simum in English. And simum means like a very hot wind. Sinnun means 8. Shi'ra is Sirius. It's the name of a star. Huwa Rabbu Shi'ra. And Shimal means the west. You can call it the west, or you can also call it left. The left hand. Understood? Shamsun means star. Sabah means eastern wind. Arud means prosody. Prosody means what? The way you write, the way the poems are written. So Arud is a science. Ilmul Arud, in how you learn so basically you say the science of poetic meters. The science of poetic meters. Like for example, why is the patterns of the poems, why is it makes it a good poem? Are they actually matching in pattern or not? Asa means staff. Aqib means heel. Eid is caravan. Eid is caravan. Yes, Eid is caravan. Al-Fa'su, you came already in the story of Sayyidina Ibrahim. Fa'su is pickaxe. Fakhith is thighs. The thigh. Firsan is the hoof. Firsan ushat, the hoof of a hoof of an animal. Qadam is foot. Qaddum is an, I don't know how to pronounce it, adzi. It's basically a type of axe or type of like an axe or a type of pickaxe, but slightly angled. Qaus is a bow, arrow, bow. Qaus is a bow. Kats is a cup. Katif is a shoulder. Katif is shoulder. And karsh is stomach. Intestines are the stomach of an animal. Kafun is what's kafun? Kafun is hand, palm. Nar is fire. Na'al is shoe. Yad is hand, and Yameen is right. So these words are Mu'annas Sama'i. Just learn them. There's nothing to do about them. It's a list of them. If you're ever not sure, you can refer back to this list. Okay? G. الضرب الثاني ما كان في آخره ألف التأنيث. The second type of مؤنث لفظي, مؤنث غير حقيقي, which is also known as مؤنث لفظي or مؤنث مجازي, are those words that have an ألف التأنيث at the end. So for example, al-bushra. So we have here bushra, the ba, sheen, ra is a harfun asli, and then the ya at the end is a harfun zaid. So alif al-ta'nith al-zaida. So alif al-ta'nith comes after the third letter. Whether it's alif maqsura like bushra, alif maqsura, or whether it's mamduda like sahra, sin, ha, ra, alif mamduda at the end, alif of a hamza. So both of these cases, bushra is glad tidings, sahra is desert. These are not mu'annas haqiqi because they don't have a biological gender, but they are mu'annas ghair haqiqi. You can call them mu'annas majazi, you can call them mu'annas lafzi because they have a sign at the end. The ya alif maqsura here and the alif mamduda show that these words are mu'annath. Understood? Yes? Okay, that's so far that's quite easy. So we have a recap. We have mu'annas haqiqi and mu'annas ghair haqiqi. Mu'annas haqiqi means biologically feminine. Mu'annas ghair haqiqi means it is not biologically feminine. A mu'annas ghair haqiqi is also called mu'annas lafzi or mu'annas majazi. And mu'annas lafzi, mu'annas majazi, also known as mu'annas ghair haqiqi, there are three types. Either has ta marbuta at the end, for example, naqatun or imra'atun or sa'atun, or well, naqan and imra are haqiqi, but sa'atun, for example. Yes, that's mu'annas ghair haqiqi, ta marbuta. However, there are some words that we assume to have a ta marbuta. These are also called mu'annas sama'i, like shamsun. Then we have the whole list of them. Then we said some of them have alif marbuta at the end. Alif al-ta'nith. Sometimes alif maqsura, sometimes alif mamduda. Okay. Now we're moving on to the third type. So there's three types altogether. Ta marbuta, alif al-ta'nith, or the third type. What's the third type? This may not have come before. Kullu majmu'in, every plural, other than mudhakkar salim. So every plural, which is not mudhakkar salim, like muslimuna, mu'minuna, qanituna, apart from those plurals, every other plural is considered mu'annath ghair haqiqi or mu'annath lafzi or mu'annath majazi. Does that make sense? So every single plural, apart from the una plural, can be considered to be a mu'annath salim. For example, أورقت الشجر, like ismul jins. Now this is a bit explanation. What's an ismul jins? An ismul jins is a noun which has an alif lam, well, in some cases alif lam, and it's talking not about one tree, not about one unit of that species. So jins means species. So when you have an ismul jins mean we're talking about a noun, you can say collectively, or you can say as a whole, as a species, not as one member. We're talking about it as a whole, not as one member. So for example, I could say, for example, Al-Kitab. Okay? Without context, you wouldn't know whether I'm talking about the book or I'm talking about books generally. So for example, I could say, Al-Kitabu Al-Kitabu Jadidun. Now in this scenario, I'm talking about the book. I'm talking about the book that we both know about. Yes, Alif Lam, the book. But I can also say, for example, Al-Kitabu Sadiqun Khalisun. Now here, when I said a true friend, Sadiqun Khalisun, am I talking about the book or am I talking about books generally? That's why we translate it here as a book. A book is a true friend. Or you can say books are true friends. Because we're talking about it what? As an ismul jins. We're talking about the whole thing collectively as a whole. Books of true friends. Or a book is a true friend, meaning the idea of a book. So if you have an ismul jins, meaning you're talking about something as a whole, then in that case, for example, shajar. Does everybody understand the idea of ismul jins? Yes? Okay. Now, let's move on one step. Now, we've said here that we have a word, al-kitab, and we said the word al-kitab can be specific. This will come in more details in Kubra and also in Balagha, inshallah. And it can also come referred to as a general, as a group. Understood? Right? We have to use the context. However, when we're talking about animals, some animals, trees, fruits, and even sometimes other words, what happens is that the Arabs use two different words. One word to refer to the jins, and one jins meaning the species as a whole, and one to refer to a unit. So when we have al-kitab, we don't know if it's talking about a unit, a specific unit, or it's talking about the whole species unless we use the context. But what the Arabs do sometimes is they have, especially for trees and fruits and those kind of things, they will have, for example, tamratun, and you have tamrun. What do you have? Tamrun. Tamrun. Now the ta marbuta is used to show unit. That means talking about something specifically. If you look in the dictionary in the Hansware, you will see it has the word ta for unit, and then it has something collective. So if you say tamratun, you're talking about one date. And when you say tamrun, you're talking about dates as a whole. Yes? So you want to say akaltu tamran, akaltu tamratan, akaltu tamratain, akaltu tamarat. And when you say uhibbu tamra, I like dates, generally speaking, not the date. Similarly, when you say shajaratun, what does that mean? You're talking about one tree or a unit of trees. One unit of tree. When you say a shajara, that means here, there's trees as a whole, as a jins, as a species, a genus. Are you following? So if you have the word, alhamdulillah. So ismul jinsi is awraqat shajar. So in here, ash-shajaru is ismul jins. That's why you can have awraqa, meaning trees. What happens when in autumn? They shed their leaves. That's why they drop. Yes. So awraqat shajar, not shed. Opposite. Sorry, my mistake. Awraqa, to become not in autumn, in spring. So in spring, the trees become It's in Urdu, darakhdar, not darakhdar, pattedar, meaning they have leaves on them. They take leaves. So the trees have become full of leaves. Yes? Similarly, if you have an ismul jam'i, what's ismul jam'? A collective noun. A collective noun is also treated, a collective noun is also treated as mu'annas. كذبت قوم نوح. قوم is a singular word. What's the plural of قوم? أقوام. أقوام. So you have قوم, the plural is أقوام. But the word is singular. But even this singular has a plural meaning. The singular word has a plural meaning. Because it has a plural meaning, you call this collective noun ismul jam'i. And now it is singular, but it has a plural meaning. Like in English, you have like a tribe or a family or a herd. So all these are called ismul jam'i, collective nouns. Now because it is a collective noun, كذبت refers to قوم. كذبت قبلهم قوم نوح وعاد وثمود. So Nuh, قوم, Ad and Thamud are collective nouns. That's why the word كذبت has been brought. You understand? So the ismul jam'i. Does that make sense? And the third place, a third type of plural, which is not a mudhakkar salim plural, is the majmuu al-mukassar, a broken plural. So you have rasulun is a singular. What is the plural? Rusul. But instead of saying ha'ula'i rusul or ula'ika rusul, what do you have? Tilka rusul. Because why? What's the rule? When you have a the rusul, the jama' mukassar, can be treated as a mu'annath. That's why you have tilka rusul. What's the benefit of that? You do that in balagha, inshallah. So tilka rusulu. Understood? So now rusul is jama' mukassar, qawmu nuhin is ismul jam'i, and shajaru is ismul jins. So all three of these can be treated as feminine, and they have been treated awraqati shajar, kadhabat, and tilka rusul. Understood? Yes? Everyone following? And then the mudhakkar. G, go ahead with the question. Somebody's asked, why do we say the body parts are mu'annas sama'i? Because if you look at it, not all body parts that come in plurals are sama'i. So many of them are, some of them are not. Majority of them are. So it's a good rule of thumb. So many of the body parts that come in jewels are. Many of the body parts that come in jewels are feminine. Not all of them. I can't remember the exceptions right now. But some of them are not. Similarly, names of tribes, the ismul jins. That's why they come, the ismul jama', that's why they come under mu'annas majmua'. You following? Yes? The next one is mudhakkar. So mudhakkar is anything apart from mu'annas, وهو ما سوى المؤنث. Okay? Okay. Now, mas'ala, we have certain words that are used as both mudhakkar and mu'annas. من الأسماء ما يذكر ويؤنث. Those which are made mudhakkar and mu'annath. So mudhakkar and mu'annas, they can be used both ways, mudhakkar and mu'annas. Yes? Here's a whole list of them. We'll go through them bit by bit and let's see. Just again, I won't ask you, unless I feel really evil in exam time and decide to say, list 20 nouns that are mudhakkar and mu'annas. But just remember them, read them enough times over and over again that it clicks in your mind that you think, yeah, when it does come, it is one of those that can be read mudhakkar and mu'annas. Ibit is armpit, underarm. Yes? Izar is the trousers that you wear. Hal is state under armpit. So armpit. Hal is condition, your state, like a hal. Fa'il, fa'il, maf'ul bihi, maf'ul, the mansubat. Hanut is a tavern or a pub or where you sell wine. Khamr is alcohol. Dir'un is a coat of mail, meaning an armor. Yes? Dalun is bucket. Zira'un is arm. Zira'un is the arm. Zira'un is the arm. Okay? Then dhahab is gold. Ruh is a spirit. Sabil is path. Sarawil is trousers. Saqar is the name of Jahannam. Sakin is a knife. Silah is armor. Sullam is stairs. Sullam is stairs. Silmun is peace, opposite of war. Samum is simum, but you remember what's the problem here? Simum came before in what? There's a mistake in my book. So I wrote samum. Probably some books have a bit words both places. So some have it as mu'annas, some have it as both. So it's best to remove it from the top and put it at the bottom. That is samum can be used both ways, mudhakkar and mu'annas. So if you remove it from the top list and put it at the bottom list, it'll be better, inshallah. I'll rectify that for the next edition, inshallah. Okay. Ajuz mean the buttocks or the backside. Aldud is also the forearm, the arm, where you have bazu, where you have your biceps. Uqab is an eagle. Aqrab is you have snake, scorpions. An unuq, so aqrab is scorpion. Unuq is neck. Ankabut is inna awhan al-buyut ila baytul ankabut, spider. Firdaus, the name of Jannah. Faras is horse. Qidrun is a pot, a big cooking pot. Not a small pot, but big cooking pot. Qafa is the back of the neck. When you lie down on your back, part of it is the pillow. That's called the qafa. Qamis means shirt. Kabid means liver. Lisan means tongue. Miskun means scent, perfume. Milhun is salt. Min janiq is caterpillar. Not caterpillar, sorry. Catapult. Caterpillar is a small animal. Catapult, what you used to throw from over the trenches, or what you used to other army. An-Nakhl is date palms. So if you recap, we have mudhakkar, we have mu'annath, correct? Mudhakkar and we have mu'annas. And in mu'annath, what do we have in mu'annas? We have mu'annath haqiqi, is that word that is actually biologically mu'annas. Then you have mu'annas ghair haqiqi, and mu'annas ghair haqiqi is also called mu'annas majazi, or you can also call it mu'annas lafzi. So 3 words for that one same idea of anything that is mu'annas grammatically, not biologically. You can have ta marbuta at the end. You can have alif mu'annas ta'alif at the end, whether it's alif maqsura or whether it's alif mamduda. On every single plural, which is not a jama' muzakkar salim. So the una plural is not in this list. It's not in this list. Apart from that, if you have a ismul jins, like a shajar, that can be considered mu'annas. Ismul jam'i, like qawmun. Or if you have a majmu' al-mukassar, a broken plural, all of these will be considered to be mu'annath. And then at the end, you have a simple mudhakkar. Understood? Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.